Hi everyone, Shirley Joy Weiss here, and it's been a while since I've done a video. I used to do these all the time, and there's ebbs and flows in life, and I was going in an ebb of videos, not wanting to do many, but here I am, feeling inspired today. I was just looking through Facebook just now, winding down after a busy day, an active day, and I caught myself having an old emotion, an emotion that I used to have all the time, and that is jealousy and comparison, and that instant, like, ooh, as some part of you says, why don't I get to do that, right? Whatever that version is. And this is not just a social media phenomenon. Social media just actually amplifies it and makes the issue even almost a little bit worse in the sense that social media tends to, or most people tend to only post certain images, certain visions, certain aspects of themselves that make them seem so happy and perfect and activated. And so to the parts of us that doubt, to the parts inside that are hurt and feel not enough, it's just perfect food to trigger those parts. And suddenly I found myself having that emotion. So I really wanted to just talk about that for a moment. Because really it's time. It's time for all of us to move beyond the bullshit. To quote the beautiful Alexis Petrin, I believe that's how you pronounce your last name. She just started a podcast with that name, and it's a great name, Beyond the Bullshit. And whose bullshit do I want to call out right now? I don't want to call out the bullshit in social media. That's not what I'm here to do. Because we're not about putting the finger out there anymore, right? We know better. So we're going to call out the bullshit inside. And what I mean by the bullshit inside is that yearning for more. Because we're ready. We're ready to finally realize that there is no more. We have to slow down and breathe. And just finally face the silence, the sheer, utter emptiness of this moment. And it's the biggest paradox because that's what we're most afraid of on some part. On some part, we are so radically afraid of the emptiness of this moment. What does it mean if I am alone on this Labor Day? What does it mean if I don't have a partner? What if it means and blah, 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 if I'm not doing all that fabulous stuff? The sheer utter emptiness, and that's what we think that we're fearing. But the sheer utter emptiness of this moment is not that. That's what our ego thinks it is, and that's why it's constantly running around looking for more, because it thinks it's that. Our ego misinterprets the emptiness of this moment as that, as a lack. We run ourselves into the ground, working for money to pay for all these activities and travel plans and adventures and studies and whatever is going to fill that emptiness. But here's the bullshit. That emptiness is actually our gateway to peace. That emptiness is our liberator. That emptiness is the only place we're going to find peace. Because haven't you ever noticed that yes, there were moments where you were alone at home, feeling like a lack in your life, empty, and you were depressed and sad or questioning yourself, whatever it may be. But I bet But you've also had moments where you were amidst total huge social scenarios and you just felt as alone. You see, we all dream of moving to that fabulous city and that fabulous place and doing that fabulous adventure. But nothing changes because we are the ones in the experience of dissatisfaction, an experience only created by our thinking, our beautiful human thinking, and it's only created inside, not by our circumstances, and that emptiness is the glorious gift that allows us, that invites us to breathe into this moment so that those thoughts, the very thoughts that are actually causing the feeling of lack and insecurity and doubt to settle. And if we can just stay still enough for a moment to really face the emptiness of this moment without getting further caught up into that whirlwind of thinking that analyzes and labels the emptiness as negative and lack and meaning something about you. If we can just look squarely into the eye of this moment, like a child does, without making labels, like a baby does, without making any labels, those thoughts will flow out of us. They will settle, and we will fall into the moment, into the great big void that we've been running from with all our activity. And we may just discover the sweetest peace we've ever known. A peace that has always been there. A peace that will always be there. A peace we are. What we've been looking for. We've been looking for ourselves. And the reason why we keep looking and looking and looking and not finding ourselves is because we're looking everywhere but in ourselves, here, in this moment. Or if we are looking at ourselves, we're looking at ourselves through a concept, we're thinking about ourselves, we're analyzing ourselves. You can't conceptualize you. You can't conceptualize who you are. If I ask you, who are you, and you try to think about it, you'll never get there. Because you can't put words to the formless. You are the formless that has temporarily taken form. You are everything and nothing, and that's why when I ask you, who are you, you go blank, not because you're no one, but because you're nothing in the best way. And there can't possibly be a word. I don't care how poetic and brilliant with words you are, you will never find a word to explain and describe who you are. There's beautiful metaphors that give you a feeling, but that's why poetry and metaphors are so beautiful. Not because they actually describe who you are, but because they elicit a feeling, and that, my dear, is how you can access who you are. Through a feeling. So if I ask you who you are and you hear nothing, that's normal. It's something you can only feel through feeling. But if you're all caught up in thinking, you're never going to feel you. And that's why trying to find yourself through thinking and analysis and labels is never leading you anywhere either. You can only experience yourself in this moment. And how do you get into this moment? By falling out of your thinking. And following feeling, good expansive feeling, because as soon as your mind settles, you connect with this moment, with the surroundings, with you, you start to feel an expansion good feeling. Let's just give it some very gentle words. Just start to get curious about that and feel into that. That, my dear, is who you are. Already. Now. And when you feel jealousy like I did earlier, that's just a perfect alarm clock going off saying, hey, 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 you're using your head again in a way that pulls you away from who you are and creates a temporary experience based on the thought. So I was having a jealous thought, and so I had a jealous experience, nothing to do with who I am. Just a very human thing. And that's why I can share that with you and not care. Ooh, she experienced jealousy. Yeah, she's human. It shows that my mind works really well. And it comes up with all kinds of thoughts. But I don't believe them anymore, and I notice them. Breathe into them, love the part of me that may still feel that way. And invite myself into the utter emptiness that she feels she's trying to run away from. And discover the most satisfying fulfillment I'll ever know and have always been. So take a deep breath with me. And allow yourself to feel jealous. That's all right. You're human. It's just a thought moving through you. It says absolutely nothing about you. And next time you look through social media and you see so much adventure, be happy for those people. It's wonderful. And maybe one day you'll get to experience that again. But nothing, no adventure compares to discovering the peace beyond all those ego desires right now in the great big void of your life, of this moment, of now. Learn to discover the peace right now, and you will finally know stability. Not the kind of stability that is temporary, right? When things are good and you're off on those adventures, and then as soon as life challenges you, you're not stable anymore. That's not stability. But if you learn to slow down enough to orient yourself more and more and more to the moment, to this good feeling throughout the day, you'll carry it in the moments of quiet in your life and in the moments of excitement, and all of it will be wonderful and fine. And then you will know stability, and then you will know happiness. And so that's my little message for everyone today on this beautiful void of a moment, day, life that is absolutely brilliant and glorious and alive right here, right now. Because when you do finally connect to the moment, it is so absolutely spectacular, no matter where you are. I love you, everyone. Shirly Joy Weiss. Feel free to comment below on what this brought up for you. Look forward to hearing from you again, and I'll be coming more often again via video. Love you guys.